Have you ever stopped to think about what an angel's anatomy might look like? What if I told you that Castiel, the celestial being from Supernatural, is much more complex than just a fallen angel? Get ready to step into a world where science and mythology intertwine, and where the supernatural becomes part of anatomy. Today, we're going to dissect the bizarre biology of Castiel and how his angelic powers work. Castiel's anatomy. At first glance, Castiel is a celestial being who uses a vessel or human shell to interact with the physical world. According to the lore, he's the last angel created by God, and although young by celestial standards, he possesses a vast array of abilities that make him extremely powerful. But how does this human shell work? The vessel human shell. In the universe of Supernatural, angels need human bodies to operate on the earthly plane. This human shell isn't just a disguise, it's a fusion of celestial power and human biology. Castiel uses the body of a human named Jimmy Novak, who voluntarily agreed to be his vessel. This gives us our first clue about Castiel's peculiar anatomy. He isn't just a being of pure energy, but a symbiosis of the spiritual and physical. The shell allows Castiel to interact with the physical world, but not without consequences. Continuous exposure to angelic power can wear down and even destroy the human body, as we've seen several times throughout the series. The science behind this can be likened to the effect of intense radiation on a human body. Just like radiation, Castiel's power can break down the molecular structure of the shell, causing irreparable damage to human tissue. It's important to remember that Castiel is a seraphim, the second highest order of angels in the celestial hierarchy. He possesses a duality few characters in Supernatural exhibit. He is both a being of pure light with a celestial essence and a man inhabiting a human body. This creates a unique relationship between the physical and the metaphysical. The human shell is limited by its senses and physical capabilities, but Castiel's angelic soul transcends these limitations. Castiel's powers evolve significantly over the series. He starts as a common angel, but after his death and resurrection, he becomes a seraphim, which exponentially increases his abilities. This transformation can be compared to a kind of biological evolution in the angelic context. When Castiel is resurrected as a seraphim, his powers reach a new level. He gains abilities like time manipulation, chronokinesis, the ability to heal diseases and wounds almost instantly, biokinesis, and even altering reality around him, reality manipulation. This evolution can be seen as a mutation within celestial biology, where he becomes stronger, more resilient, and essentially closer to omnipotence. These powers aren't just supernatural abilities, they seem to follow certain laws of the supernatural universe. For example, Castiel can heal wounds, but he can't bring someone back to life if the body is destroyed. This shows that even with all his power, he is still subject to limitations, which can be seen as the natural laws of the universe he operates in. Comparison with the Bible. The Seraphim. In the Bible, Seraphim are described as beings of pure fire, constantly praising God and responsible for purifying human souls. Castiel, as a Seraphim, has a more modern version of these abilities. He can purify humans from diseases, much like the Biblical Seraphim purify souls. The difference is that Castiel uses a more practical, physical form of purification, like healing injuries, or even resurrecting the dead in intact bodies. Castiel's powers and their scientific applications. Castiel's powers are vast and varied, and they can be explained scientifically using analogies from modern physics and advanced biology. Here are some of his most notable powers. Biokinesis, biological manipulation. Castiel can heal diseases, wounds, and even alter the genetics of living beings. Modern science already explores genetic manipulation through CRISPR and other technologies. In Castiel's case, he doesn't need physical tools. He uses his angelic energy to restructure the molecules and cells of the human body, healing wounds or eliminating diseases instantly. Chronokinesis, time manipulation. Castiel's ability to travel through time and freeze time can be compared to the concepts of temporal dilation in quantum physics. In extreme gravity situations like near black holes, time can be distorted. Castiel seems to have control over this temporal distortion, able to freeze time at will or travel to the past, as if manipulating an energy flow. Reality manipulation. Castiel also has the ability to manipulate reality at a molecular level. He can make objects disappear or appear out of nowhere, or even alter the structure of an entire environment. Scientifically, this could be likened to manipulating matter at the quantum level, where particles can exist in multiple states at the same time. Castiel, as a celestial being, seems to have full control over this quantum manipulation. Invulnerability and immortality. Castiel's invulnerability is one of the most intriguing aspects of his anatomy. He can resist human weapons and even certain supernatural weapons. Castiel is essentially immortal but can be destroyed by entities of equal or greater power, like archangels or primordials. His immortality could be viewed as an extremely advanced form of cellular regeneration, where his cells or his celestial essence are capable of self-restoration at levels impossible for humans. How Castiel's powers work and their limitations. Although Castiel has a vast array of powers, he isn't invincible. He has vulnerabilities that limit both his capabilities and his longevity as a seraphim. Let's now explore how these powers work and where they meet their limitations. Advanced smiting. Smiting is one of the most iconic abilities of angels in Supernatural. Castiel can use his celestial energy to instantly exterminate supernatural beings. However, he can only do this to beings of a lower celestial hierarchy. Thus, while he can easily destroy demons and monsters, he struggles when facing more powerful entities like archangels or leviathans. Scientifically, this power could be compared to emitting high-intensity energy, like an electromagnetic blast, or intense radiation that instantly disintegrates matter. However, more powerful beings emit their own celestial energy, which neutralizes or even overwhelms Castiel's, making it a battle of equivalent forces. Teleportation and telekinesis. Castiel can teleport to any location in the known universe, something that, in scientific terms, could be compared to quantum teleportation. However, even this ability is limited by certain factors, like angelic protection's warding, which can block or interrupt his powers. Additionally, he also has the ability to move objects and beings with telekinesis, using only his mind. Once again, this can be explained in quantum terms, where particles can be manipulated at a distance through quantum entanglement. Castiel, as a seraphim, seems to have almost absolute control over these particles, allowing him to move objects and even living beings with ease. Vulnerabilities, holy fire, and celestial weapons. Despite all his power, Castiel has several weaknesses that can be exploited. One of his main vulnerabilities is holy fire, a celestial substance that can trap or even destroy angels. This fire can be likened to an extremely concentrated form of radiation, which not only burns physical matter, but also affects the celestial essence of angels. Another weak point is angelic weapons, like the Seraphim blade, which can kill angels and even more powerful entities when used correctly. These weapons are forged in celestial planes with materials that transcend common physics, making them incredibly dangerous, even to beings as powerful as Castiel. The relationship between Castiel and entropy. Castiel, as a celestial being, seems to be in a constant struggle against the laws of thermodynamics, especially entropy. Although he can resist destruction and regenerate his body, he is still subject to forces that destabilize his physical and celestial form. This is seen on several occasions when he is gravely injured or when his vessel human shell is destroyed. Science could explain this as a battle between celestial energy and the inevitable wear and tear that occurs in any physical system, regardless of its supernatural origin. In summary, despite all his strength, Castiel is far from immune to the fundamental laws of the universe, especially when external forces like holy fire or celestial weapons are applied to him. Castiel in comparison with biblical angels. To better understand Castiel's anatomy and powers, it's useful to compare him with the angels described in the Bible. The seraphim, of which Castiel is a part, are mentioned in biblical texts as beings of pure fire, with multiple wings and an overwhelming presence. But how does this apply to the modern version of Castiel in Supernatural? The biblical seraphim. In the Bible, seraphim are described as having 6 wings, 2 to cover the face, 2 to cover the feet, and 2 to fly. They are beings of fire, constantly praising God and purifying souls. Although Castiel is portrayed in a more humanized form, he still retains some aspects of this image. For example, he has wings though invisible to humans and can purify beings by healing them from diseases or curses. Moreover, like the biblical seraphim, Castiel also has a direct connection with God, being one of his last creations. His loyalty and devotion to God, even after numerous betrayals and falls, reflect the devotion of biblical seraphim to the Creator. Castiel's wings, one of the most iconic symbols of angels in Supernatural, play a significant role in his celestial anatomy. Though invisible to mortals, they reflect his celestial status. The wings allow him to move through space-time instantaneously, and they are also used as a form of intimidation. This aligns with biblical descriptions of angels whose wings are representations of divine power. In scientific terms, Castiel's wings could be seen as a physical manifestation of his celestial energy. They are an extension of his essence, capable of interacting with the physical environment in ways that defy traditional physics. This aspect of his anatomy gives us insight into how angels operate on a level that transcends human understanding. Seraphim and purification. Another interesting point is Castiel's role as a purifier. In the Bible, seraphim are responsible for purifying souls with celestial fire. Castiel, in a different context, also purifies by healing diseases and wounds. His touch has the power to remove physical and spiritual impurities, which can be compared to the purifying fire of biblical seraphim. The science behind Castiel's anatomy. Now that we've explored his powers and compared his anatomy to that of biblical seraphim, it's time to dive into the science behind Castiel. How can we explain, in scientific terms, the capabilities and limitations of the angel? Immortality and celestial regeneration. Castiel's immortality can be explained as an extremely advanced form of cellular regeneration. In the human body, cells have a limited lifespan, eventually leading to aging and death. However, Castiel seems to have total control over this process, able to regenerate his cells and heal wounds in seconds. This can be likened to molecular biology, where certain species, like some types of jellyfish and lizards, have the ability to regenerate parts of their bodies. Castiel, as a seraphim, appears to have an extremely advanced version of this ability, allowing him to heal from any injury not caused by a celestial weapon or by entities of a higher level. Reality manipulation and string theory. Castiel's ability to manipulate reality can be explained by string theory, one of the most accepted theories in modern physics. According to this theory, everything in the universe is composed of tiny strings vibrating at different frequencies. Castiel, as a celestial being, might have the capacity to directly interact with these strings, altering reality by manipulating their frequencies. This would explain how he can make objects disappear, create doorways where none existed, and even modify the flow of time. Essentially, Castiel could be operating at a subatomic level, where he manipulates the fundamental laws of physics to shape the world around him. Teleportation and wormholes. Castiel's teleportation can be explained by the theory of wormholes, a concept in theoretical physics suggesting the existence of shortcuts in space-time. Castiel seems to have the ability to create or access these wormholes, allowing him to move instantaneously from one place to another. While this remains a theory in modern science, in the universe of supernatural, Castiel and other angels seem to have complete mastery over this ability. Science is still far from fully understanding how this would work, but in Castiel's case, he appears to manipulate space-time in a way that transcends our current understanding. Conclusion. Castiel's bizarre anatomy is a fascinating blend of mythology and science. As a seraphim, he possesses an array of abilities ranging from time and reality manipulation to regeneration and teleportation. Although he has limitations, especially when facing beings of equivalent or superior power, Castiel remains one of the most powerful entities in the universe of supernatural. His duality, being both celestial and physical, gives us a unique insight into how angels might operate on a level that defies the laws of physics and biology. Castiel is ultimately a character that combines the best of science fiction with mythology, creating an anatomy that is both bizarre and fascinating. So, did you enjoy this analysis of Castiel's bizarre anatomy? If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos about the supernatural universe and other supernatural content. And tell me in the comments, what's your favorite power of Castiel? See you in the next video.